Now, Storm Watch 12 weather with meteorologist Josh Culbreth.
Welcome back to News Watch 12 midday, and right now you're taking a look at the winter storm warnings that are in place pretty much for all of Siskiyou County and elevations above 2,000 to 3,000 feet. And it's really south central Siskiyou County that we're the most concerned about, as new snow totals could range anywhere from 8 to 15 inches between this afternoon and tomorrow evening. So this system means business. Also, just kind of as a side note, we have winter weather advisories in place for the west side valleys of southern Oregon above 2,500 feet, and then for western Siskiyou County above 3,000 feet. New snow totals could be anywhere between 3 to 12 inches. Of course, it just depends on the terrain. And this runs until 4 p.m. this evening. So here's a current look at the satellite and radar picture right now. Everything streaming in from the southwest going to the northeast. So we have several different strands of rain and higher elevation snow. So I'll show you what happens later in the day with Stormcast. We'll put this into motion, and by the time we get to dinner time, still see lots of showers, maybe even some thunderstorms along the coast. Earlier, it was quite the wild scene. We had snow in Grants Pass and in Medford, and simultaneously along the coast, we had lightning strikes that were being detected by radar. So probably more of the same this afternoon and this evening. You can see just more and more rounds of rain and snow showers. And then watch what happens on Tuesday. We get the core of the system moving in from the south, so that's why we're expecting so much snow in southern Siskiyou County, but also it's going to sweep through the east side as well. So more widespread rain and snow for Tuesday. It doesn't look like things taper off for Wednesday. This whole shebang we're going through, the two atmospheric rivers we had over the weekend, then essentially what's going to equate to another atmospheric river for today and tomorrow. It's going a long way when it comes to the drought. Mount Shasta City could get upwards of 2 inches of rain. The coast and Cascades maybe getting up to an inch. Less impressive totals in northern portions of the Shasta Valley for the east side, and especially for the Rogue Valley. This would be through Wednesday morning. The only encouraging sign when it comes to our roadway conditions is that snow levels will be a little bit higher for tomorrow. Not by much, 4,000 feet as opposed to 3,500 feet. So we're going to get more snow. That's the bottom line, especially for some of those higher elevations above 4,000 or 4,500 feet. You can see that the bullseye is down in south central Siskiyou County. Mount Shasta City could maybe get up to a foot of snow through Wednesday morning. Of course, the Cascades could get pretty comparable totals. And even on the east side, 3 to 4 more inches expected for Klamath Falls. Pretty similar for Lakeview. Oregon 140 will get quite a few inches of snow as well. And even for some of these lower passes in our west side valley, Sexton Summit, Jacksonville Hill, Hayes Hill, probably getting a couple inches of snow at the very least. So all that to say, roadway conditions are going to be terrible for today, for Tuesday, and for Wednesday, but we get some drier conditions to help alleviate things for Thursday. So for today, widespread rain and snow, also winds pretty blustery over on the east side, up in the Cascades and along the coast, gusting out of the southwest between 25 to 35 miles per hour. Overnight, more of the same. Winds do back off, but more of the same in regards to rain and snow. And like I said, we're going to start to dry out by the time we get to the middle of the week. Here's your 7-day forecast for the coast. Rain and thunderstorms looking likely today. Doesn't look like we'll have that much in the way of thunder for Tuesday, and then much drier by the middle of the week. Thursday should be a very nice day. Probably going to get some sunshine, but will still be cool. Again, probably the biggest impacts are going to be up in the Cascades and Siskiyous and down in south central Siskiyou County, specifically towards Black Butte Pass, towards Snowman Summit, and towards Mount Shasta City. Weed may be getting 3 to 4 inches of snow. Over on the east side, we'll have those impacts on Oregon 140. And up in the Cascades and Siskiyous, of course, we're already seeing roadways that have packed snow on them now. Will likely have more, and those roadways are only going to get worse over the next 48 hours. And then for the Rogue Valley, saw some snow mixing in this morning. Maybe we'll see the same thing for tomorrow morning, even though snow levels will be a little bit higher, and then we'll get drier into the middle of the week.